all of this has resulted in President Biden having to cancel his trip to Australia and Papua New Guinea. But is progress actually being made?
It does seem like there's a new sense of urgency in these talks. Heidi, like you mentioned there, Speaker McCarthy coming out and saying they could reach a deal over coming days. Messaging from congressional leaders saying there seems to be consensus on making sure the US avoids a default. That suggests that certainly they're going to come towards a deal, and officials from the White House and Congress will continue talks over coming days. So it does feel like it's stepping up a level. However, we are still short on details in terms of where the two sides will come together. We know that the Republicans are looking for deep spending cuts. That's what the caucus there wants. They want changes to social welfare spending in particular. That's going to be problematic for the Democrat side. So we don't yet know where there is going to be compromise. But the big takeaway, as you say, seems to be that the two sides are still talking. They're promising to continue those talks. And at the very least, prospects, I think, for an agreement are now heightened over the coming days.
How disappointing is it that President Biden won't be headed to Papua New Guinea or Australia, given, of course, the administration's push to strengthening those ties?
I think it has to be a blow to the US policy of trying to win allies in the Pacific region. We know that the China story in that part of the world is such a central focus of this administration, especially in particular for competition over influence over those Pacific Island nations. The US president going to Port Moresby would have been unprecedented. It would have been an unprecedented gathering of Pacific leaders there. So undoubtedly, I think it will be seen as a blow to US leadership. The Quad talks, well, at least some of those Quad discussions will go ahead in Tokyo anyway. President Biden said he's invited Prime Minister Albanese of Australia to come to visit DC at some point in the future. But net, you have to say that it's a direct hit from these debt ceiling talks ongoing. It's another knock to US prestige and I think influence over the global economy. And that's what a lot of critics are warning would have happened the longer these talks carry on.